Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. It is myself, the Four Phils, and today we have another V system guide. Today we're going to be covering Guile. I saw a comment. I told you guys I'm looking at my YouTube comments. Whichever characters I see you guys want me to cover next, or the characters I'll be doing. I saw somebody said they wanted to see Guile, some more top tier characters and such. So we're going to be covering Guile today. So let's get straight into it. But before we get into it though, you guys have been showing mad support on the channel. I appreciate it. However, the majority of you guys that watch the videos are not subscribed. So please feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. Support the channel. Be part of the Falcoholics. Come on, you be watching the videos. Might as well hit that subscribe button. But anyways, I'm going to get back to you guys when we start the video. Okay, V system guide versus Guile with Falke. First of all, we're gonna say, alright, so I opt to go for V trigger 1 and V skill 1 against Guile. V trigger 1 and V skill 1 against Guile. So we're gonna get into exactly why I opt to go for those, right? So first of all, V trigger 1, you get bigger rewards from baiting anti-airs. Now, as you know, in this matchup, air shot plays a big part. This right here plays a big part, right? Because Guile can flash kick through it, but he has to commit because this is very fast. So Guile has to commit to the, I believe it says heavy kick flash kick. He has to commit to it. And we could also bait it out with a dive kick, right? We can bait this out with a dive kick. So air shots are really useful. I just want to get that into you guys' heads first. Air shots are really useful. So because we can do a dive kick and bait out his flash kick and get a crush count and punish and stuff, Guiles tend to anti-air with stuff like crouch fierce. So they'll do this. Crouch fierce because it's safer. If they get hit with the air shot, if they get hit by this, by the air shot, right? This is all they're really risking. Whereas if they did a flash kick and the flash kick whiffed because we baited it, they're eating a crush counter punish, which is a lot more dangerous, a lot more damaging. So they opt to go for the normal anti-airs instead of going for the flash kicks, right? Or they might try to jump over or do other, make other decisions. But the flash kick in general, unless it's the EX flash kick, they opt to not go for it as much because air shot is such a threat in this matchup. So V trigger 1, as you can see, we can bait anti-airs with air shot. So when we use V trigger 1, that becomes even better. Because as you know, V trigger 1 gives us better conversions. I can demonstrate here. For example, better conversions for baiting an anti-air. So that's one thing that makes V trigger 1 really strong. Obviously, you can get different conversions. It doesn't just have to be that one. Grounded conversions, you know, into Oki as well. So it's definitely, it makes that air shot game that's already really strong in this matchup, it makes it even better. So that's the first reason why I like V trigger 1 for this. Alright. As we all know, Guile is a projectile character. So he's got sonic booms, right? He's got sonic booms. Now V trigger 1 is really good for getting knockdowns on the sonic booms. So we go from getting this, from getting that, right? If I can react to it here. The regular low shot is even slower, so you don't even, a lot of the time you won't even get the hit unless you're super close like here. But then here it's not really reactable range. So you don't even get anything. You just go underneath the shot and you evade it. Whereas when you have V trigger 1, you can actually react to it and get a knockdown. There we go. Sometimes you'll get a trade, but that trade is in your favor because you get a knockdown and you do more damage too. There we go. That's the situation you want. So again, that's also really powerful because say you don't have a life lead, for example, let's say Guile has you, how do I do this? Say Guile has you like here, right? There, one. There, right? This, you're a life deposit, right? So, you need to do something to get a life lead. You need to get in, right? You're getting zoned out, for example, and you need a way in. If you have Vitrigo 1 activated, you can get a knockdown now. See, now you're in. This is now your way in. You've gotten a knockdown. Now you can start applying your pressure. Whereas, you wouldn't be able to do something like that with Vitrigo 2, for example, because you don't have the projectiles to do that. So yeah, Vitrigo 1 definitely helps out here. Makes Guile's life a lot harder. Moving on to the next. What do we have here? Right, okay. So Vitrigo 1 from Falke it hits multiple times, the projectile. Which means if I have Vitrigo 1 activated, and my projectile happens to trade with a Sonic Boom. There we go. So I eliminate his projectile from the screen, and I also gain pressure at the same time. So this is very useful. And I also gain pressure at the same time, and there's not much Guile can do about that. Even if he chooses to jump after the projectile, you would have enough time to anti-air. If he was to jump there, I'd have all the time in the world to anti-air. So this is, again, another very useful tool. Another useful tool. It just counters a lot of the things Guile wants to do in the matchup. Alright, so we got what we got here. Checking my notes. Right, Vitrigo 1 as well. Let me just take this off real quick. Right, Vitrigo 1. If I make Guile block everything. In general, Vitrigo 1. You know, the shots, the VT shots, the standing shots are +4 on block. So in general, this is really good plus frames. And if you take a look at Guile's health, it also does some good chip damage when they block it. Now this also leads to a lot of things, right? So first of all, over here, Falke is winning the zoning game. She's being annoying with air shots. You can't really flash kick all the time. And over here, I'm doing like Vitrigo 1. Here, it's making it hard for Guile to do stuff. I can eliminate his projectile as well. And then when I'm up close, I can also do this and chip him out. This makes the Guile player want a V reversal. And this is kind of a good thing because most of the time, if you have a life lead and the Guile player is V reversing, they're eliminating their own chances of getting V-trigger, which means you don't have to deal with a V-trigger Guile for the rest of the game. So if you're forcing Guile to V reversal, that's good. And that also leads to our next thing, V-skill 1. I use V-skill 1 in this matchup. Because V-skill 1, it just shuts down his long-range zoning game in general. So if Guile's over here, oh, and speaking of the chip as well, right? If Guile's blocking everything, now you have a better string with stand medium kick into V-skill 1, and then it links into shot as well. You can't do that when you have a V-trigger 2. So when you look at the chip damage on this, it does a lot. This is a looping scenario. You can loop this on Guile. Unless he uses his reversal. You can loop this on Guile, which is really good. And you can also mix it up with regular gunshot as well. So the whole chip, altogether, the whole chip damage is just really strong against Guile in general. Force reversals, and then you have to deal with a weaker version of Guile throughout the whole match with no V-trigger. Whereas Guile's not stopping you from using your V-trigger. So yeah, that's another reason. Right, V-skill 1 pretty much shuts down Guile's long-range boom game. I'll show you guys. Right. Guile at this range, you're casually reacting at this range. I'm staying at this range specifically because if you're over here... Alright, hold on. I kind of want to clear something up, right? A lot of people say, why do you not use V-skill 1 for every single projectile characters? Now, I said something similar in my previous video when I was covering the Sagat matchup. If you guys haven't watched that, you definitely should. It's definitely important. But with V-skill 1, right, with Falke, V-skill 1 isn't good against every single projectile characters. This is literally the reason why. This applies to every single other fireball character in the game, right? This is the reason why. When a projectile character, first projectile at this range here, You're not reacting. It's impossible. You can't. Look. You see that? Too slow. It's not coming out here. It's too slow. So if I cannot react to a fireball from that range, right? If it's not possible to react to a fireball from that range, that just means every time the projectile character will be at this range, they will dominate this. They will dominate this. Because you can't do that. What you can do is this. Watch. What you can do is this. There we go. You can react with low shot. This applies to Ryu, all those characters. You can react with low shot. That's reactable. V skill is not. V skill 1 is good at this range. Because this is easily reactable. This is fine. This is fine. Right? But the problem is Guile players, right? Good Guile players will not just keep on throwing booms. If they know that you have an answer to this at this range, they're not going to keep on throwing it at you because you're building V meter. So at some point, what ends up happening, once you're here, they just stop. They don't throw any more booms. And then they walk towards you. And then once they get at this range, they'll start doing it again. And then what do? You can't really do anything because you can't react here. Right? You have to remember, it beats projectiles. But if they're not throwing projectiles where you can use it, then how are you going to utilize your V skill? That's something to think about. It doesn't mean that V skill 1 is good against all projectiles, because it's not. It's not. I hope that makes sense for you guys. I get this question a lot, especially when I'm streaming. I get this question so much, I kind of have to clear the air for, about that. But anyways, moving on, right? Right, V skill 1. So you're shutting down Guile's long range gameplay. And now this also why I said applies to Guile, right? So the Guile player is not going to want to throw booms at you here all the time, right? So what do they end up doing? Hold on, I think I had it right there. Right, so they're throwing booms. They're throwing booms. You're shutting it down. What do they end up doing? They come into your range, right? Here. You see how he walked forward? That's what they do. They will come into your range. But then again, when you look at Guile's normals, you have longer range normals than Guile. Right? You have longer range normals than Guile. So when you start throwing booms and he walks at you, you have the advantage now. Because you can still poke him out. You can outrange him. So he cannot just bully you with sonic booms here. And then he'll walk towards you, but then now you can poke him back out. So Guile needs to take some sort of a risk to get in. The only thing you have to worry about is when he does EX Sonic Boom, because that will beat your V skill. But apart from that, you do have the advantage here. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Hope that makes sense. Okay. That's pretty much it for Guile, to be honest. Let's conclude this, just so it doesn't go over you guys' head. So yeah, V-Trigger 1 in general is good for Bay and anti-airs. It's got good plus frames, good chip, forces V reversals. You can use it freely. It doesn't hurt to use V-Trigger 1. Oh, sorry, I forgot about something. One more thing. One more reason for V-Skill 1. At this range, now we all know Guile likes to throw light boom. Light sonic boom is really slow. The Guile players can walk behind it and apply pressure. If you use V-Skill 1 at this range, right, you can do this. You pay attention to what Guile did. Guile threw light sonic boom, walked behind it, and attempted to jump, right? I had V-Skill 1 at this range, which allowed me to do that. Now, let me show you guys why I would not use V-Skill 2 specifically, right? In this situation, I have no V-Skill 1, so I cannot reflect this fireball. My only answer to fireball is this. Jump. My other answer would be gunshot, which got me punished right there. My other answer would be low shot, which got me punished again. If I have V-Skill out, I could do this. Now, this is not going to be consistent because it depends on when the Guile player jumps. I'll do it multiple times and show you that it's not always going to work. Okay, here we go. Nice. Now I got punished for doing it. It all depends on when the Guile player jumps. Because if I'm doing it preemptively, Guile is still in. Even though I blocked that in time, Guile still managed to get away in. Whereas the aim is to not let Guile get in the first place. When you're using V-Skill 1, you eliminate that whole scenario. That whole scenario of Guile having a chance to get in for free by using Light Sonic Boom. It doesn't happen. That whole scenario does not happen. It goes back to Guile struggling. So I hope you guys understand that why I don't always use V-Skill 1 against projectile characters. Because it's not the best. It's not the best against projectile characters. It's really not. Maybe if it was faster, if you were able... Hey, I would use it against all projectile characters if I could react to it. If I could react to projectiles here and be able to reflect it all the time, I would use it. But it's not something you can do because the startup of it is too slow, unfortunately. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up for Guile. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up, comment down below which character you want me to cover next. Make sure you guys subscribe to the video subscribe to the channel as well if you guys enjoyed the content over here, and I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Bro, I'm so tired today. I don't know if you guys can tell by my voice, but I've got like 2-3 other videos to film. So yeah, stay tuned guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We out.